All praises Kimbo Kimbo na Tanzania Mazulu. Kimfumo Kyakuisa, Nzami Mawesha, Nzami Okobenisha, Nzami Wanene. Yenge Izola Ibiluka. Matonde Mamenge for all of you that have come into this platform and has been listening. Hope that again today you will Wikichala, that you will listen to the message that will be being brought, hopefully through the Mwanda Velala, that we pray that the Tanzambi, the most high powerful God, will bring the Mwanda Velala into the midst today, because the message that I'm going to bring is going to really strike at the heart of what is now happening in the world today. Um, why many of us are going to continue to be shadow banned, or those of us who are going to continue to be interfered with. Uh, there is not, but then again, you got people playing both sides. So a lot of that stuff is about to come to an end. Even now, um, I know I talked about these shirts that we have, and the intent was I was working on, we had a really good deal to get a website going, and unfortunately the person fell very ill, and we're absolutely related, by the way. And I'm going to talk about why it's so difficult in these times, and we're going to talk about the war against the kingdom of truth, and how the whole world has been bamboozled and schemed and manipulated into fighting for the kingdom of lies, claiming to be the kingdom of truth, like in the days of Noah. And like what Simon Kimbangu, Simon Toko, and many others like them were fighting against for generations and generations, going all the way back to the time of Claudius and of course Tiberius and Caligula and many of these other and Nero and all these other emperors, and of course the time of Herod and the Sanhedrin. And why you hear today, you hear Christians keep talking about 66 books, and it's like that's all part of the deception of the fallen ones, because we're going to talk about Wonder Woman and her wickedness, because everybody thinks that she's so great and she doesn't give a damn about anybody. Her job is to destroy the Most High's chosen. And that's why I hear people saying, oh, certain people in the Bible didn't exist. Okay, if monsters didn't exist, then how do we get the laws? Then how did we get the statutes? How did we get how the way to live? Where did they come from? Who brought it? People just listen to people talk, and they don't stop and think, well, wait a minute, then how did the 12 tribes get their laws? How did they get the statutes? How did they get the commandments? Then you're saying the 12 tribes didn't exist. Okay, this is the concept when you listen to people who want to keep you as a scarecrow and stupid, okay, is that they have all these tricksters out here going to tell you that people didn't exist, because now you're going to fall right back into the trap of being an Egyptian. And we're not Egyptians, okay? People think that they're coming out of these laws of Ma'at or these paganistic ways and these Mesopotamian gods, and they're very crafty, because they're all a bunch of doggone vampires. Okay, this is for education purposes only. Again, today, they're all a bunch of bloodsuckers. They don't give a doggone. They fight each other. They don't get along with each other. They have misled many races of people. They continue to manipulate your thoughts, your minds. You don't question the spirit. You don't know what you're talking to. That's why the world today is in such confusion and disorderly, and things are happening at a rapid pace, because the Father is now going to expose all of this. Okay? The biggest problem you're having in the world are people who have joined fraternities and sororities. They themselves don't even know that they're being used for suckers. Okay, we're going to get into that. The Greek way was never the Most High's way. The Roman way is never the Most High's way. We did not speak Aramaic. That was the Phoenicians. We did not speak Yiddish. We did not speak Latin. We knew it, okay, but we didn't. That was not the way we communicated with the Father. The pure language of Hosea chapter 2 is not English. People want to keep thinking that English is the way to go. Whatever. That little island that's called England has fooled the whole world. Okay, and that's what it is. It's a ruse. Latin, that little boot, okay, that you see, that boot right there is the biggest cause of all the problems. Okay, because the deception there is, you think that they wrote down the truth and they didn't write down the truth. No, they did not. That's why you're going to get the boot from the Most High when you follow the boot. And they know that. Okay? You're going to get the boot for the Most High. You're going to be kicked out of the kingdom when you follow the boot. Okay? Everybody who continues to be thinking that, oh, people act nice, that doesn't matter. Even the real Messiah said people can act nice and still be led into stupidity and be ignorant. Ignorance is ignorance. It doesn't matter if you're nice, mean, scared, or it doesn't matter what you are. If you're ignorant, then you're going to remain in the pit. Okay? You don't think you're not already in the pit of Apollyon? I can't help you, because that's why the scripture had to say, come out of her, my people. Every single religion is designed to keep you worshiping stupid gods. Okay? They're dead. They have nothing to do with the Most High. They do not have any issues. They do not have any intentions to save you, but to put you in the same prisons he put them. You keep opening portals. You keep thinking you're casting out devils. Every single building that you call a church, a synagogue, a mosque, or whatever you want to call it, they are all summoning demons. You think you're not, you're going to find out. Okay? There's no building the Most High is in. None. The Most High is either in the person or he's not. Okay? People want to keep promoting the divine feminine, you got the wrong one. Because I'm telling you, the wife of Tatanzambi is not a hypocrite. Okay? She is not a hypocrite. You want to keep talking to Wonder Woman, you keep doing it. Because Wonder Woman's taking everybody to hell. Okay, because you're chilling out here, loving it. This whole thing they're talking about what's going to gather in October. I told people, do you not understand the trend that they always want to gather around Samhain? The Druid festivals are always at the end of October, and nobody gets it. It's like that is not when the Passover was. It's actually in the beginning of October. Really, this whole thing about April is the flip side of the real Messiah. People don't want to believe me. You're going to get exposed very soon, because this coming Passover, which is going to be coming in October, oh, you better watch out. The real Simon Toko Mayamona said, it's on. That's why they're getting ready. This is why they're ramping up all this stuff that they're getting ready, because they know it's getting ready to go down during the time period that you're going to be talking about baseball and all these things, and football and basketball is going to be starting up. Every single sport is actually starting to ramp up around October, November. That is the one month you'll see almost every sport that they have running at the same time, including hockey. If you look at the season, if you look at the way they have it set up, baseball is ending, okay? Football is in full stream. You got soccer going on, you got hockey, you got basketball starting up, you got all these different sports around the month of October. Why do you think that is? It was not this. It was never 200 years ago. You did not have anything like this. You don't understand the game that was put in. Then on top of that, you got all the gambling. What's going on with Vegas and betting on sports? Betting is the way you put yourself in hell, because Heliopolis is where it is. Okay? They already know that. The odds are always against the people who they call a jackass, because they're always winning, but they never won. Okay? It's the mentality of the Most High makes them think, we're winning, we're winning. You've never won. Okay? All praises. I'm gonna start the music. Again, I hope that everybody's doing well. May Tatan Zombie continue to grow your understanding, the Most High God of truth. Sonina Nini Samanla. God is not a name. Lord is not a name. Dios is not a name. Deus is not a name. Dior is not a name. We did say Infumu Yave, but that's the Most High's way of what? Okay? Yahweh can go truth or lies. That's why they don't want to, that's why they scratched out the name that he really goes by. We will always the Bakongo. We will always be the Bakongo. The Maliki Kongo will always be the angels who are not the liars. If you don't want to believe me, The fallen angels know how to play your game better than you do. Because the concept is the fallen ones know their intentions are to use the non-melanated people to destroy every melanated person and including the Bakongo people, which is impossible because he says, you sons of Yakubi are never consumed. So everything, what you're not understanding is everything that these power elites come up with to destroy Jacob is going to destroy you. Okay? That's what they're not telling you. It's going to destroy you. Whatever you do to the Most High's children is going to come back on you. This is right there written down in the scriptures. Whatever you do to my children will happen to you. That's why some people will get a blessing if they didn't even realize they were helping somebody who really was Jacob. And they'll think that is really the God of truth. And that is true. That is the God of truth. His word is not void. But if you are doing things in a manner that is the intent to keep his children getting benefited off of with curses, that is when you get this thing coming back on you. Whether sicknesses, diseases, everything you want to call it, it's all coming back on you because that is what their point is. They want to eliminate anyone who is going to replace that king that they appointed called Herod. And he was never Jacob. No, he was not. And many of the people in the Sanhedrin, they were never Jacob. We had wicked Bantus. Yes, we did. And we still have wicked Bantus that still want to eliminate the fact that they are written on the ground. So anybody whose names are written in the stars, they want to keep tricking them. They want to keep fooling them. They want to keep playing games with you. And now they have made it so intense. Music, food, entertainment, education, government, businesses, everything is designed to benefit the wicked ones. And now what is happening around the world, they're trying to run and fix it. And it's like, how can you fix something when now the God who's not a hypocrite has kicked off the jackass from the top of the pyramid? They're not going to do it. It's all going to come back on you. And that's why the tumbling down is now going to continue because the system is crashing and it's not coming back. It will be the planet of the apes, whether they like it or not. There ain't nothing they can do about it. Okay? That movie ain't about no evolution talking monkeys turning into nothing. It's about black people. So stop with the bull crap. Okay? We are the talking monkeys. We are the talking apes. That is what the devil calls us. Okay? The evolution is about you. Cain hates his parents. So he says you evolved from monkeys. Whatever. Because they were melanated people. So now this whole race war thing is being instigated by those who come from secret societies. Plain and simple. It's all garbage. The music industry, the entertainment industry, the news, people turn on the news, everybody's, the idiot box, they stage so many things and they got you engrossed in stuff because all these pastors work for Esau. Every last one of them worked for Esau that continue to lead you to an imposter. Okay? You got people who are in villages, tribes and all this other stuff. Whether they know it or not, they are working for the imposter. This is what the fallen angels have done. It doesn't matter what name they call themselves, it's still the jackass. Okay, those are all the names of blasphemy on top of this purple rain woman witch. Trent was talking about the witch, and he was being, oh yeah, by her, because she is the goddess of sodomy. Okay? She is the goddess of sodomy, so all of her buck-broke people are sitting out here telling you to stay with her when the Most High about to burn the heck out of her. Yeah, Wonder Woman is a sodomist. So is Superman. He's a sodomist. Okay? None of these so-called superheroes that they brought you up with your childhood are good. They're all wicked. Okay? So if you want to keep believing what they're telling you, you be my guest, because they went from black to white to Asian to Hispanic. They went to all different kinds. It doesn't matter what they show up as. They got different faces, but they all come from Babylon. Okay? You want to keep believing Babylonian gods are going to save you, you be my guest. That's why the Most High is like, as in the days of Noah. Oh, yeah. So let me get the music started. I don't own the rights to the music. And the one thing I'm going to suggest, and this is exactly what I was told, do not hand your peace to people who are not deserving of it. If they are going to continue to trample you underfoot, and I'm talking specifically to Banabete or Bisolele, I'm not talking to anybody else. I'm talking to the people who come from Tatanzambi, who come from King Congo, hallelujah, who come from Odimo, Sonina, and Samala. He has said it. Do not keep giving your time and energy to people who don't want to pick a side. If they don't want to pick a side, just because they have a crown doesn't mean it can't be taken away. Those are the people that have in the scriptures say they were there for the truth for a while, and then they mocked that in the movie Matrix with that guy who went to the agents and said, I don't want to remember nothing. I'm tired of this war fighting against these people. Okay, that's where it came from. And I'm like, there's a lot of those. So many people who knew the truth and then they went back to the lies. And that's what I'm trying to explain to people. There are many of us who will never be stuck in the beast. No matter what it looks like, no matter how it looks, the Most High is putting everything on the beast and they will be pardoned. You don't even know all these people's names, then you need to keep your mouth quiet. Christians are putting themselves in hell every day, telling about you're going to hell, you're not following Christ, you don't know what Christ you follow. Islam, same thing. You don't follow Allah, you don't, no, okay? Judaism, oh man, they the ones manipulating all this stuff, okay? We never practiced no Torah like that. We did not do it. No, any Talmudic, none of this stuff. We didn't do any of that garbage unless we were doing satanic stuff against the Most High. That's where it comes from. Okay? That is all Edomite. That is all Babylonian. That is all Phoenician. That is all Hittite. That is all Jebusite. And they created the sciences. Okay? You want to keep believing the sciences that came from the Jesuits, you be my guest. Because their intentions are to destroy Jacob. They did that with Toko. They did that with Kimbangu. You don't even know what happened with these men. And then, of course, they got infiltrated. They always do. The sorcerer is going to infiltrate anybody who tries to preach the truth. And he's going to always want you to shame the Father, but act like he's on your side. I don't give a doggone what they call themselves or who they say they are. It's all baloney because the city of David is not even here to rule. The city of David is really supposed to be inside of you. If it's not there, the Most High don't know you. If the city of David is not inside of you, the Most High doesn't know you. Okay? And we'll get into that and how that works. Because anybody can look like with magic and magicians and all bright lights and everything, but where are they getting the power from is where you're not understanding. Because that's why they took out that's why they want to keep telling Martin and Bartholomew, said it right there. They already messed up, we just chill out. They just calm down. You know, they can look like you're casting out devils. That's why Elias said it. Elias said the false Messiah will do everything but raise the dead. So that means he knows how to control the demons to keep them from not acting out. So you think that you casted out devils and all they did was calm down. You don't have to ask a demon their name. The Holy Spirit knows. That's why the reason why he had the whole group of them together, because they all had different names, but they had given themselves a name. When he said, "My name is Legion, for we are many," and that whole demonic entity is now infected the whole world with their mindset of how they have interpreted the Most High's word, and it is completely garbage. Everybody's getting duped by the show. that the source is putting on. And now the jig is up. That's what they say. The jig is up. Because now that's why they're freaking out. Because no, the jig is up because now the one who really was in charge and now the one who said it wasn't my time to rule, now he's coming and he don't look like a modified leopard. Okay? Both the real Messiah and the false Messiah were melanated. Okay? You think the melanated Messiah who turned himself into the modified leopard is the same guy. It doesn't matter if he's white or black or Asian or whatever he is still Cain. He is still Jupiter. He is still a fraud. Okay, you want to keep taking your kids to you don't want to fight against the government to keep teaching you education that's destroying you. That's your business. You want to keep supporting people whose job is to steal and rob from the Most High. That is your choice because that's what they're doing. I told people you're gonna see where teachers end up. You're gonna see it. You think teachers are every time they're dying? Oh, they're going. No, they're not. They lying to you. They are not with the Most High if they teaching his children to be hypocrites. No, they are not. This is why the Most High said, time for your repentance to stop it. I was involved with it. I thought I was trying to show people certain things. Now, they don't like that. They don't want you to think up here. They want you to just do what they say. The people who get education above you don't think the way you do in these schools. No, they don't. Not even close. That's why they made it so expensive so you can't even afford it. That's the problem. The Most High can afford everything that they make expensive because he got way more money than Lucifer ever can dream of in your life. But you're going to think there's a scarcity. That was part of the rouge too. All deception. There's no scarcity in the kingdom of truth. We run out of water. The Most High can make more water. Run out of gold. The Most High can make more gold. Run out of diamonds. The Most High can make more diamonds. Run out of oil. The Most High can make more oil. Run out of what? We're running out of food. The Most High can make more food. They just talked about how America got the biggest $1 trillion in debt. Yeah, because you borrowing from the jackass. And he's the one lying to people talking about, oh yeah, you need to come borrow from me. Why? All it does is make you more stupid by the day. And every generation since the 1800s till now, even let me go back further, since Constantine or more, shoo, you don't even know. Since Saladin was not worshiping the Most High. He was there to help get his part in the wealth of Solomon. And now people think it ran out. Who told you that? It never runs out because it comes from the kingdom. Everything comes from the kingdom. It never runs out. Nothing runs out in the Father's kingdom. You are being played by suckers. That's why they call you suckers. That's why when you're sucking on candy, they know what you're doing because you're stupid like that. Okay? The name Popsicle comes from a demon that was worshipped by the Canaanites. Woo, people. So was nickel. Okay, now from nickel kind of similar. Come here, that's why he didn't want us to say these names. Now that we keep saying these names, we're stupid. You keep saying all these names of these demons, and now you're so stupid you don't even know how stupid you are. And watch, that's why everybody gonna get mad. So mad when they don't understand that you praying to that cattle god. And they lying about it. And then they're going to tell you, like in the days of Noah, no, this person's an idiot. There's so many of us out here trying to show you, you don't know what the heck you're talking about. There is no United States of America anymore. It actually didn't exist from the beginning. That's the lie. The Most High set it up to where we would have the ability to do what we're doing now because Lucifer went ahead and said we have the right to free speech. Yeah, the Most High said, well, you can't take it away. Oh, that's the God. No, the Most High can do anything to get people to do what he needs to keep people like this. I heard this lady, man, please stop listening to this lady talking about where was God during slavery. If he wasn't there, they would have killed all of us. Let me say it again. If he wasn't there, they would have wiped out everybody. They wouldn't have had any conscience. They would have killed all the Mexicans. They would have killed all the black people. They would have killed everybody if he wasn't there. Please stop listening to people that's out there causing confusion. Oh, Jeremiah didn't exist. Yeah, now if Jeremiah don't exist, you go keep doing the Christmas stuff that they all know comes from Nimrod. And if you think the Muslims aren't doing it, you fool yourself, because he got them walking around a stone. Same thing. If you think the Muslims don't participate, they have a holiday in December. It doesn't fall on the 25th of December. It's before it. It's still the same thing. Man, you people need to start waking up. Every religion on the earth has a celebration in December. Hanukkah. They've moved our Kwanzaa to December. It was never that in December. We could, ta ta, is a song that says, Kwanzaa ni ta ta nyambi. That is how we said the birth of the Messiah. Kwanzaa ni ta ta nyambi. That is how the Salah, the gift. Whew, you keep listening to the Hittites and the Ashkenaz and the Jebusites and the Amalekites and the Kittim and Japhethites and the Canaanites and all the other, see, because in some Shem had other children that also did not obey the Most High. Okay, you keep listening to all these witches and warlocks, man. You don't even know. It's about to get crazy. All right, let me get the song going. I apologize. I don't like to go on rants, but it's like, everybody wants to put me as a scapegoat. Fine, because that's what they wanted. The sorcerer wants to make people like me the scapegoat because he's out here robbing people and taking people's money and laughing at you. And then anybody who's telling you how to get your money back, we're the bad guy. Okay, fine. I'm the bad guy to teach you how to get your money back. Because not everybody's going to do it the right way. They're going to tell you, but then at the same time, they're going to still be stabbing you in the back. I'm telling you, man. Because the point is, you are the money. You are the bank. But the point is, they want to make me look like the bad guy and shame the father. They want to have witches and warlocks out here messing with people's heads so you can get your inheritance. You're not getting your inheritance talking to Nimrod. No way. That's why they wanted to kill Toko so bad. When he said, you praying to Nimrod. You think that you got so many people out here think they're not working for Nimrod, you fool yourself. When Kimbangu said it, you praying to Nimrod. They threw him in prison for 30 years for that and beat the heck out of him. For 30 years, because a man said you praying to Nimrod, they put him in prison and beat the heck out of him for 30 years. And they couldn't kill him. I'm going to tell you about Carter Phillips. If you think Carter Phillips is not fake, it's fake. No, he ain't fake. Carter Phillips is the one that wanted the Banner Bantu to wake up because he'd been cursed for all these years. He's like, man, y'all need to help me out. He struck Masindis. He struck Mfumu Yeswade. He didn't struck no Master Guru Esau, Jesus Christ, pig god. He was working for the pig god when he struck Masindisi. The pig god Mfumu, Jesus Christ crucified Yeswa Mananzambi because Jesus Christ was Tammuz. He crucified because Yeswa Mananzambi, he's the one that sent the pig to kill him. We never called on no Jesus. But if you want to keep believing it, be my guest. Of course, he understands who you're talking about if you're in the wrong right spirit. Okay? He gets it. But he said now emancipate yourself from mental slavery means get rid of all of the names of blasphemy. Come out of the whore means get rid of all of the names of blasphemy. Get rid of all of the practices of blasphemy. Get rid of that wine that has nothing to do with me. Stop being the Tin Man. Slide some oil to me. What's he talking about? He is a Tin Man because he is rusted under the wrong God. And then you got the straw man out here, no brain, just doing everything for the crows because you're praying to some damn crows. That's what he was trying to show you. You're praying to some doggone crows out here, and that's why they all here gossiping. Bunch of crows gossiping. That spirit is on everybody that gossips. Everybody who gossip is the doggone crows out here gossiping crows. Yeah, they don't want you to know about that. Okay. All praises. Let me get the song started. And we're going to get into some scriptures. That's why they put him in the movie Dumbo. And they had him sounding like who? The crows had black people voices. Why you think they did that? In the movie Dumbo. Because you the dummy. I done seen everything. I see an elephant fly. When you find out what they're talking about, you don't even know what Dumbo's about, man. What was the brother from the tribe of Natali, Shaka, the great elephant? We ain't talking about, you see, because the thing about it was that it's a duality. They worshiping that mammoth. The mammoth is flying. Oh, a flying mammoth. Okay? But yet at the same time, the Most High created the elephants. So we are supposed to be flying like more than the elephant, the mammoth elephant that's out here lying to people. The mammoth god they worship, the mammon, comes from the word mammoth. Okay, that Esau's god. Man, people. All praises. I don't own the right to any of the music. This is for the edification of the channel only, and for us to continue to grow in understanding and spirit and in truth. All praises. And as far as I know, the update I have on my family members, my sister especially, is she's doing okay. But I already know where this is all coming from. But again, people can be stubborn. I told people this is why they wanted to take out, and I honor the wife of Pastor Darby for her courage to continue, even though some of the stuff he said wasn't quite accurate, because he was still following the Hebrew Israelite doctrine, which was still created by the Masons. Yes, it was. Okay, it's not the full truth. And then you still have Banabetu who work on the opposite side in Africa that still are indoctrinated by the stupid goat god, especially like the Lembas. Like, no, those are the people who made the Most High mad. And when Masinisi went tearing up the temple, he's like, you people are hypocrites. And they still working together with Esau's priests, still being deceptive, like some of these other people out here. I honor there's some Kikuyu seers that they recognize the Messiah, and there's others who don't. I'm trying to tell people that's the issue right there. That Kundalini, that snake spirit is all over the world, and that's why everybody was worshiping. They said, why is this such a consistent history of cultures worshiping the snake? Because that's what they were worshiping, and he created the scientists digging stuff up, and you keep digging stuff up, and you keep cursing yourself, and you keep calling things all this other stuff, and it's a lie. These Nephilim that they buried, these mound builders, you keep talking about it, they burying these false gods. Okay, that's what they're still doing the same stuff. They still hypnotized by these creatures, man. Nephilim are not good. No, they're not. That's why our job, they want to keep protecting themselves because it was the job of the Banabetu to do what Nimrod refused to do. Take them out. And now you've been fighting for them and they tearing everybody up in the spirit. All right, here we go. All right, all praises came to Tatanzami. Again, like I said, I didn't mean to go on that little rant, but it's like, man, you know, every day more and more I walk around and I just see more people just keep, it's like, wow, you really don't know how stupid they have you. To keep believing the stuff you see on television, to keep believing the stuff you hear in the pulpits, because you don't understand. We had it all, everything was supposed to be in good uh, changeover, and they ran straight to the shepherds feeding themselves to go and start running interference because they saw Revelation 3 and 9 coming, and they were like, oh no, we can't let this happen. And they ran straight to all their puppets and continued to push the objective to keep us away. And now, fortunately, the Most High has pushed it over. The real Messiah is overcoming them, but the jackass is still trying to take the credit when he's going to be exposed. And when I say jackass, I'm talking about the cattle god that you're not supposed to be praying to, and you think you're not, but you are. All right, so this is from of course, many Christians say, well, this ain't from the 66 books, so I don't want to hear it. Okay, this is out of the Ethiopian Bible, but technically, the Ethiopian Bible came from Simon the sorcerer, pretending to be his twin brother Thomas, because the Nkanda Yanzambi is what they turned into the Ethiopian Bible, and then they stripped out books from there, because the Nkanda Yanzambi had way more books than the Ethiopian Bible. Then they stripped it down again because they were more afraid of losing their power and influence of Rome to 73 books. And then when they saw the protests happening, they were so afraid that they would lose their affiliate and power to Jacob again that they stripped it down to 66 books. And then they said, this is the word of God. Yeah, the word of gold, oil, and diamonds, because that's what they used the missionaries for, to go into every country they ever gone and make negotiating deals to take the resources, putting up a bunch of puppet leaders to help them take it all back to Japheth, who is not supposed to be running nothing. And so you have Japheth and Kami, Ham, who have ganged up on Ensamu, using the wicked ones from Ensamu and our own people who got turned away from the Most High, and we still out here talking garbage, not understanding you're not going anywhere. No one is going to the kingdom talking to Nimrod. No way. Santa Claus Christmas comes in July because that's when he was born. America was formed around the same time as his birth. December was Tammuz, the birth of his son through his mother. That's why they want to talk about this whole coding about having sex with your mother or whatever, where that really came from and what they did to us, is that is what happened with the false messiah and how the people don't get that where the MF came from and all that stuff, okay? So this is one of the things that they did to us that you're not understanding was meant to deceive people about this whole concept. So now I'm going to get into, and the way they have it written is the wisdom of Jesus, the son of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus. I'm going to show you, and the Most High said, put it in Kikongo. Put that. Sorry, because I have too many things open. I think I put it in one of these. Yeah, here it is. So, Mayele ya Yesu mana ya Siraki longi. So the word ecclesiasticus means teacher, because that's what longi means in our language. Yesu Malongi, the teacher. Okay? There was a Jesus before the Messiah came in the Old Testament. Okay? A Yesu before the one they call Yesu. But he was also in another, this is a different person, but as I said, the Messiah has been here before in many different forms, and then he finally came. But see, everybody who was he was part of, they sinned. He finally brought himself, the most he came down. There's a scripture that even talks about how he came down and he disguised himself, he bypassed all the angels, he came down, fulfilled the promise, and then he went back up, and they're like, whoa, he went past us. We didn't even know until they finally announced it. Then they finally realized, oh man, he's down there. Okay? He was never a man. He became a man. That's why when people say no man could die for your sins. Please stop listening to secret societies. Please stop. Okay? They gonna keep twisting the narrative because they losing the battle, but they already lost. It's a wrap. It's done. All these lodges are about to be exposed for what they are. They just want you to go down with Davy Jones and the Flying Dutchman like they are, or they're gonna walk the plank if they don't. But the point is, you would rather walk the plank in the truth and not in the lie, because you don't ever die. Your spirit will never die. Okay? So he says, all wisdom comes from the Lord. This is how we said Lord. Lord is Baal. Mfumu. This is even where they get the word fumes from, which also fumes are like a gas, like a spirit. Okay? It is with him forever. Who can count the sand of the seas? The drops of the rain and the days of eternity. Who will search the height of the sky? They try with these so-called, they claim, oh yeah, we're going into outer space. They don't get past the firmament. Please get up out of here. They never get past the firmament, but you believe whatever they want. Okay? The wisdom has been created before all things, and the understanding of prudence from everlasting. To whom has the root of wisdom been revealed? Who has known her shrewd counsels? So wisdom is now referred to in the feminine. This is where everybody's getting tricked by L. Let's go. Let's go back to the Canaanite deity that nobody seems to understand. You got it all wrong. The Canaanite god of wisdom. Here we go. In Canaanite mythology, yep, they're going to always play that card on you. The most prominent figure associated with wisdom and protection is El. The wise protecting patriarch, supreme God and creator, bullcrap. El, the supreme God of the Canaanites, pantheon, viewed as the creator of the universe and the father of all gods and humankind. Baloney. And today, you still believe in it. In Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, whatever religion you think, this is the God you keep thinking is the supreme creator. No, he is not. Okay? Wisdom and compassion, my foot. Why you think you got people out here homeless, but they know the Most High? He is often described as wise and compassionate father and figure, the ruler of the gods. This is how people are being played by the jackass. This is how it says, I shall be like the Most High, Yah Kongo. Yah is just half of the name. Okay, Kongo, Congo, kingdom, truth. We had a brother broke it down for us. Nobody wants to believe him. And other people who are telling you, Kagor is right there in the Hebrew, in their Yiddish. Of course, they want to erase it now because people are figuring it out. Protect the order. What order? This is the order out of chaos mess. While his role was more of distant patriarch ruler than active warrior, he decrees authority, maintain order among the gods. How is he going to be above the God of the 12 tribes? No flipping way. No way is the Canaanite God going to be a God of truth. Okay? No way. He cannot be above the God of the Banabetu. And now they want everybody to believe the God of the Banabetu is this idiot. That was the trick. This is what Esau wants people to believe. Esau wants people to believe the God of the Banabetu is this idiot, okay? And the God of the not of these people is not the idiot. Is not the hypocrite. This is your Superman. This is your Wonder Woman. This is all of your superheroes. The X-Men Stan Lee talked about because there's and Jedediah. See, there was a split with Jedediah. You had the Banabetu army, Basoda and Musaladi, who was not wicked, and then those who became wicked. There's your Star Wars. Because we are the stars. We are the stars. Oh, see, that's why when they did the funny thing, when they did a mockery, and Simba says, "My father taught me that the stars were the kings that were looking down upon us," and Timon and Pumbaa started cracking up. Because why? Because they knew what scientists say. Oh, stars are born gas and all. Okay, that's why they started cracking up at him. To show you that that's how in the movie that because Disney is satanic, you don't even know you're gonna find out. This is how they were showing you how stupid, because the pig and the meerkat represented the pagans. The boar who killed the boar was Tammuz, and the meerkat was the cat goddess, whatever. Okay, this is how they played you to show you, because the animals that he was in front of represented the spiritual realm of how they worship these animals, but all creation is below the real King of Kings who keeps the delicate balance. But then you have the king who throws everything out of balance. This is what they were trying to show you with the stupid idiot Scar. But the whole world doesn't understand that is who they call Oscar. That is who they call Sokar. That is who they call El. That's whatever you want to call him. That's why he sang up under the crescent moon. And the hyenas represented the wolves in sheep's clothing that he was over. Okay? That was the symbolic when we talk about Jacob going into apostasy, now Jacob returning. But Jacob is not returning to his position without the real line of Judah. And that is not going to be the one who is these Christians and anybody else is thinking that they have, because they are talking to the God of the tares, not the God of the wheat. And they're going to find out how played they are. Okay? There is one wise, greatly to be feared, sitting upon his throne, the Infumu. And the fear we're talking about is not like how they have been manipulating people in this mindset. Okay? Not that kind of fear. We're talking about the fact that it's the kind of fear you have for mom and dad when you don't obey them. Okay? You're going to get a whooping. The problem is if you're raising your children the way they should go, there's no reason to get a whooping. This is how they've been playing people. When you're going to raise people to act like goats, this is why you got to keep disciplining them all the time until they finally submit to what? The GOAT system without even knowing it. But there are those of us who can never seem to assimilate into it, and these are the people that they want to sit here and put into incarceration and benefit from the fact that because you don't obey the Sanhedrin, they're still playing this crucifixion, all this other stuff game. Okay? This is the lie. Okay? There's no way that this idiot is the Most High. But everybody out here is convinced that he is, like in the days of Noah. Again, Christians are talking to this joker right here. Muslims are talking to this joker. Judaism is based off of this joker right here. And everybody's being fooled, thinking that the Messiah is coming from this God. No way. Our Messiah, people keep talking about, the real Messiah, and I'm going to show you how they keep pushing this garbage on you. It's this guy. It's him. This is the real Messiah. No, he is not. This dude is a trickster. This dude is an idiot. This dude is a fool. This is the God El I'm talking about. This is who you're talking to. This man, this one here, it don't matter if he's white, black, whatever he is, okay? It doesn't matter who he is. He is a liar. Okay? Every Catholic, every Orthodox Christian, it doesn't matter. See, this is him when he's in his black form. And then this is him when he's in his white form. He is the God of sin. The Messiah did not become Enlil, the God of sin. They said, oh, he took the sin of the world away. What he did, Massindacy, sin destroyer, what he did is he reversed the curse on Adamuya when he intentionally did the opposite of what he was supposed to do. So that the people would have an opportunity to get away from the hypocrites. But they turned it into a massive show that they have now put on in front of you. He became the high priest of the temple, and he became the temple as one, but that temple is not a hypocrite. So why is the whole world in debt? Why are Americans in debt? Because this is your God, the hypocrite, the fake Jehovah. It don't matter if he's white, black, Asian, Hispanic. It don't matter. It's still the idiot. I don't care what people want to say. Okay? This is the same God from the days of Noah that caused the doggone flood. And now people say, oh, the flood of Gilgamesh or the flood story is all fabricated, la, 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 la. This is the one that when Kimbangu said, we're going to catch the thief of what he stole, this is who he's talking about. When Toko said you're praying to Nimrod, this is who he's talking about. This God right here got all of these non-melanated people played because he wants to be the one wearing the leopard skin that he never got to because the Most High, Tatan Zambi, rejected him, and he's the one where abortions got started because he was aborted out of his mother because she told the Most High, no. The C and the CH, you go, I'll even see, ABC, Che, the Spanish alphabet. The Che and the Se Say is actually how you say father in our language. Say the Zulu, okay? And then the enye, the nasal, is where you get your enye from. Nya. Okay? Like Nunez and stuff like that. Comes from the nasal of the Kikongo language. They took out the MA because that's where they got the MA. They have the MA. They have the two M's too. One of them has a two M's. That's the other nasal, like umpangi. Okay? As everybody's going to learn, even the word zapato does not come from Spanish. It came from Kikongo. Because Kikongo is Latin based. Latin comes from Kikongo. It's all backwards. So now, what is going to become more evident over the next few years, and then the deception is going to continue, is we're running now into the cycle where this Joker right here, his kingdom's going to be burned completely. This is when Saul was saying, let's go to Second Corinthos. I'm gonna read out of the book here today. It's Thessalonica. We did not say Thessalonians. Okay. Let me go to the scripture here. When Saul, because hey, this is Paul right here. This is Peter and Paul right here. Mark for the Christians and your Jesus. Okay. Let's go to 620. And we're gonna get into a song in here in a minute. We're gonna first lead, and this is why I keep trying to tell people: no one is your brother or your sister in the true Christ if their job is to take you to the imposter. That's why we're fighting right now. So that's why he said, "Come out of my people," means you don't keep worshiping this liar. Dump all the stuff out. He's the one that wrote the Bible in spirit through people. That's why when Kimbangu said, "Do not," who was Elia, said, "Do not throw the Bible away. We will catch the thief for what he stole." That's what we're doing here. We're taking the scripture that was written by Enlil, okay, and using it against him to show you don't know what you're talking about. And he's the one that took out the book of his mother, the book of Lily. Okay, he did that. That's why people say, "I don't accept that." Okay, then who is Maleficent then? Who is Wonder Woman? Where did she come from? Why did that you think that Amazonians are good? Man, no way. I hate that. The Amazonians are wicked. What's what they woo? You don't even know what happens to the people in the ultra wealthy and what they have to do when they talking to these wicked gods of Olympus. They all wicked, man. Mount Hermon, every last one of them. And then they're telling you they're the most high. Yeah, right. All right. All the gods of Olympus are damn thief of the temple. But you sitting there thinking that they're the one that was crucified when they're the one that was crucifying. Carter Phillips was affiliated with that because he worshiped, okay, the one who struck Masinisi, Huma Yeswe. He did not strike Master Guru Esau, Jesus Christ. That's the dude they used to tell you he was the Messiah. That's what the Sanhedrin is tricking people with. And he's fighting because he wanted the curse to end. If anybody even seen the 7 signs, of course, even in that movie, they portrayed the Messiah as not like how Toko is. Why? Because they need to keep the illusion going that even when the lady said that the Messiah, she said Yeshua was black and we used to be brown, but that was also the Phoenicians. That's how they were able to convince us that they were the tribe of Dan. They would have had to have been dark skinned, and we would have been like, "Who? You white people? There's no way you Madani." Madonna's name means Dan. Okay, that's her name. That's why and yeah, oh yes, man, she's inverted. You're gonna find many Italians and everybody who's a part of these social societies or whatever, they got to invert the firstborn. It's required. So don't let them fool you. But these people say, "Oh, we don't do that." Yeah, right. They whizzing on. That's what the whizzing on you and calling it rain. All right, so I'm gonna go to Thessalonica 5 first. The first one, it says, "But concerning the times and the seasons, brothers, Mpangi, Bapangi, or Maleki, okay." Uh, See, like when you hear Muslims say Lakem, they're not. I don't even know how the got on the end because it's Lakey, but that's how they changed it. For you yourselves know well that the day of the Infumu comes like a thief of the night. For when they are saying peace and safety, oh yeah, let's everybody give Donald Trump the peace prize. The president of America, he's gonna bring peace to the whole world. This is Donald Trump in many different forms. How is this joker right here, this one right here, how is he going to bring peace to the whole world? Donald Trump is a black man. This is who he is, and he wearing a suit that looks like a white man. They have all of these people. You know what? The man that I appreciate that he did it. I don't care. I know that's why he got exposed for his thing involved with his stuff. Charlie Sheen. Oh, that man. When he made the movie Arrival, I said, thank you. I knew he said, thank you. But see, everybody think, oh, he just made a sci-fi movie. No, Charlie Sheen was showing you, this is your God. Okay? Hello, McFly. Charlie Sheen came out and gave you the movie The Arrival to show you, and he was even running around saying, do you not see? They all have, he was showing you all the clones in that movie. How they can go and put the different skin on and the knees go backwards and stuff like that. He was showing you the Anunnaki in the movie Arrival. And yet everybody out here think that he was just making a movie. No, he was showing you, this is who your gods are, McFly. Okay? When he made that, see, and then Martin Sheen, his father, was on the movie that told you they invented a time machine called The Final Countdown. Oh, how does that happen? When he was the so-called he was the journalist, and then of course you had the Douglas father and the Michael Douglas, Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas name means church. Kirk, like they did on the movie Star Trek. Kirk Douglas. Kirk name means circle. And then he is the commanding officer on the Nimitz that goes through time to demonstrate the Philadelphia experiment wasn't a fraud. Okay. Imagine how that happened. The man who makes the movie that tells you that these false gods of the Anunnaki are here, and then his father is on a movie that talks about time travel. Yeah, you think it is, and then he played a role of a warlord. Didn't Martin Sheen play some really wicked dude that was showing you how the mafia? He was like some powerful guy. He did a movie like that too to show you how the wealthy elites operate. But he did I can't remember the name of it, but he did that too. So you got to understand, not everybody in Hollywood agrees with the system. That's why it's starting to come out more and more. They know what's going on. The problem is they know, like the lady even told me, yeah, they were black Jews. Hitler was killing black Jews, people. You don't even know. But then he found out, he's like, wait a minute. Why am I killing these are the people? Okay. Why am I killing the black? And even Toko gave the story. Yeah, they were looking for me. Most of the people that that were killed in World War II were brown or melanated black Jews. Bayuda, you're going to discover this. Converted and non-converted. Okay. Many of the Palestinians were brown, black. Now, why they look now, how they look now? Because of all of the stuff they did. The minute they came in there, boy, they tried to get rid of all the melanin. You don't even know. Oh, it's sad. All right. Let's see. Destruction will come on them like birth pains on a pregnant woman. All right. Let's do this right here. Destruction will come. I'm not going to do too much longer. Will come on them like a woman because we weren't speaking in English. No, we were not. English was not our language. The 12 tribes language was not English. We don't everybody want to keep believing the hocus pocus. And we were not speaking in Aramaic either. Yeah, abracadabra or the snake skin. Destruction will come upon them like oh wait, like birth pains on a pregnant woman. And that's what's happening right now around the world that people keep talking about HARP and CERN and whatever they want to talk about it. It's like, no, the God of truth is using the imposters to bring about all of this chaos, but the imposters think that they're gonna be on top when it's over. Yeah, that's the strong delusion right there. Lufa takwisala bobonso mpasi ya kubuta na nkento yina kele na divumu. Okay, so the birth pains that's been going on started. Let me 2017, right? Everything really started going crazy. Yeah. I mean, you can say the last, well, technically, you can go back all the way to the 1950s because technically that is the set, like I told you, one jubilee is how many, let me see. One jubilee is how many years? It's supposed to be 70. One is, see, is how many years? Now, here's what they did. This is the lie right here. Now, watch this. A Jubilee year in the Catholic Church is typically celebrated every 25 years. Man, that's a lie. However, yeah, no, 50 years is the Jewish tradition. No, the Jubilee to Tatanzambi is 70 years. They know that. One Jubilee is 70 years. See? Yes. Now look, this is how you're going to see even AI is in agreement. Okay? Yes. One Jubilee is generally understood to be 70-year period. Who does this come from? If it's Jewish tradition that is 50, then where does 70 come from? Now watch this. Specifically, a platinum jubilee is a celebration marking 70 years particularly in the context of a monarch's reign. Boom! We got him right there. This is the lie. Even the kings and queens follow a 70-year mark jubilee of one reign. For example, Queen Elizabeth II's 70th year on the throne was celebrated as her platinum jubilee. Where do you think the word "I'm going to go platinum" comes from in the music industry? That means so many records, platinum, whatever. This is what I'm talking about. So you sold 70 million records. You're going platinum. Okay? This is what we're talking about, that the world does not understand how played they really are. Because the 70 Jubilee comes from the Banabetu of Isolele Tatanzambi, not from the God. See, because when you see Jewish tradition, they say 50. Well, who does that come from? That's the God El. There is how you see in Daniel, in Danya, when he says, because I knew a person whose name was Danya. Her name means Daniel. Okay, that's what it means. Okay. Danya and Daniel, okay, they changed the Yah to El. Okay? The 70 years of the Jubilee is the Most High's way of counting his time clock. Okay, now, this is why the powers that be really went after Prince at the end of his career, because he gave a secret to get out of the matrix. Because he talked about it, he said, he said, use the computer, don't let the computer use you. You say you seen the matrix, okay? What was he saying? Now, the sad part about this whole thing, and I don't believe that Jehovah's Witnesses were involved with the destruction of Michael Jackson and his family, and also Prince, because the Jehovah's Witnesses are the same like everybody else. They do not acknowledge the fact that the Jews were black. Okay? This is why when they recognized that they couldn't stop Toko, a lot of the this is actually very true. A lot of the people he met with that were from the other faiths, of the other Christian faiths, they wanted the world to know about Toko. The Catholic Church is the one who said, nah, dude, you Protestants aren't going to show Toko to the world. I don't think so. Why? Because they lied about the protests. You are not separated from us. That's the whole reason why the Pope was like, ain't no way. Because you Protestants, nah, you the daughters of Rome, you're not going to show Simon Toko to the world. And they were calling him Michael. That is when Rome did a lockdown on all of the Protestant beliefs. The Baptists, it said, especially in America, where you saw the civil rights movement. Man, if America would have found out about Simon Toko, we would have never followed Martin Luther King Jr. We would have followed Toko. No, for real. I kid you not. We would not have followed Malcolm. We would not have followed Stokely Carmichael. We wouldn't have followed any of those guys. We would have followed Toko, and the world would have been like, whoa, man, we stupid. Because Toko was literally damaging these people, man. He was exposing all of their lies. Okay? If Toko was in the mix during the 50s in America and been aware of it, all the civil rights movement people would have been embarrassed. And the Pan-Africanists, who are not on our side like you think. The Pan-Africanists were involved with the destruction of Simon Toko and Kimbangu. That's how you know they still running their scam today. They knew about Kimbangu. They knew about Toko, but they didn't want you to know. And even when it came out, they still try to infiltrate the way, yeah, the black man needs to unite. Not under the black Amun-Ra, though. That's a lie. Okay? So now, when we go to Thessalonica 2 for Saula, he says, now, he would have never said, grace be unto you and peace. Let me tell you how he would have said it. Because he was speaking Kikongo too, people. He was not speaking no Aramaic. Okay. He would have said like this. Because grace is the name of a fallen angel. So is faith. He would have said it like this. Enlemvo kwa beno ya yenge, kitikwidi kwa nzambe se, dieto ye mfumo Yesu Kristo. They know that's why he would have been talking. And if he said it in Lingala, it would have been, well, let me see. Let me change it to Lingala. It would have been Ngolo mpe kimya ipaya nzambi tata nabiso mpe nkolo Yesu Kristo. He was speaking in Lingala. This is the real Hebrew, by the way. So now, when he says, now, brothers, concerning the coming of our Fumo Yesu Christ Kuso Congo, and the gathering together to him, we ask you not to be quickly shaken in your mind or trouble, either by spirit or by word or by letter. Now, he's not talking in the 20th century, like all these Christians who have been indoctrinated by the clones. He's talking about in the first century. Let's go back. The conversation is going on in the first century. And he was never, none of these people were called Christians. Not one of them. They were called people of the way. Okay. He never called nobody any Christian. No. Okay. He said, let no one deceive you in any way. Now, this conversation again, first century, not 20th century. For I will not be, for it will be, for it will be unless the rebellion comes first and the man of sin revealed the son of destruction. What was the rebellion that you're not aware of? That how have the whole world has been played with the people playing the broken record. The rebellion in his time, and he even talked about it, okay, the rebellion was those who followed the hypocrites. And the rebellion that occurred when they were fighting against Rome and those who were going to tear down the temple. The man of sin, even at that time, who showed up and was revealed even to Nero and many others, was the twin brother of Thomas, who was calling himself. That's why they made you believe the Acts of Peter and Paul was not ascribed doctrine. No, it's one of these books. It's not allowed. Yeah, it's not allowed because then you know that you've been following this idiot for 2,000 years, and he's been the one playing the game, trying to keep everybody from the kingdom from coming back. But they already understood that the time that would come for the true revelation of him would be until the time of the pagans is fulfilled. That is the time that was manifesting over the last 120 years. But again, they keep trying to reset it. No, we don't want to be our time to be fulfilled. No, we don't want to be our time to be fulfilled. But now the the period that the Most High gave, the 120-year grace period, is up. because that's what it was. It was 100. I mean, Kimbang said 100, but he had added the other 20 from that. Because see, when you go, Kimbangu gave his prophecy 100 years to 2021 to 1921. You add another 20 years from there, 1901. Why do you think they did all this stuff in the beginning of the 19th century, the transition from the 19th to the 20th century? Why do you think all of a sudden now everything is the way it is today? It's a joke. Because they understood from 1901 to 1921, we better make these people stupid about what's happening because we don't want to see not one of these non-melanated people get the kingdom. And we for doggone sure don't want to give the inheritance back to the melanated black people. So that's why they had the Hebrew Israelites going in circles. That's why they had the Nation of Islam going in circles. And that's why they made all of these fraternities and sororities all around the same time. When you go look and see all the black fraternities and sororities, they are all incorporated in the beginning of the 20th century. Why? Because they were fighting against the fact that Toko was going to be taking the children home. It made it clear right in Revelation 12, the dragon would make war against the woman in the 12 stars and her offspring. That is what happened over the last 120 years for these entities that are fronting when they're making the war against the Lamb. Okay? Now, all of your segregated things are going to now be caused to be integrated. Whose idea was that? A man by the name who really gave the man who really gave the nation of Israel its name, Ashkenazi Jew named Israel. That's where they got it from. Because he was the one they incorporated this name. We never said we said Isaiah. So we didn't say is they got us to force us to say that name. Okay? And then he, and among all the others, were involved in the creation of the Hebrew Israelites. One West and all these people. And then he is the one and many others who founded the Nation of Islam with their founder. And that was not Elijah Muhammad. He picked Elijah Muhammad. Okay? When you look at the founder, they know it well too. Okay? Wallace Fard Muhammad. How much you want to bet any money his father is an Ashkenazi Jew? I'm going to say I bet. This man's father is an Ashkenazi Jew. Now, look who what happens to be the name of the founder of the Black Panther Party, Bobby Seale. I had to tell my wife this story because I had a dog with this name. When you go and you go on YouTube and you look up the name Bobby, that is the name of the baboon that was the sidekick of the stork god. Seal is the way you say Ashira, Asila, seal, with the correct pronunciation. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, all of these organizations, see, he come out in the 1930s, but who was born in 1918? Simon Toko. Why was he so dangerous? Pope Pius was there when he was born. And he was like, oh, we got to erase this guy. Okay? When did they fire the NAACP? Ha ha! You don't even know. Let's go. 1909, February 12th, by the way. Oh, there's some secrets behind that. This happens to be the same month that Toka will be born in. Look where they found it in. New York City. Do anybody even know the reason why it went from Old York to New York and what Old York was about? All of the people that founded this organization were Boule. Boule is the word, there's a word in Congo, they got it, the Boule. All right. This is the same month. It just happens to be founded on the correct birth date, or almost the correct birth date, for George Washington when they changed the year. He was born February 11th, and they changed it to February 22nd. And who happens to be born on February 24th, 1918? 9 years later. Here's the 9 that I keep trying to tell people about. Okay? Simon Toko, the one the dragon said, I got to destroy this guy. So you know this is how they sucked us in already in the beginning. All of these people were involved in some kind of Greek organization or another. Okay? Who happens, and you see Mary Church Terrell, okay? Grimke, Wells, Ida B. Wells, Moskowitz. Moskowitz, what is Moskowitz? Moskowitz is Ashkenazi Jew. Okay? White is in there. Okay? You got to understand. And it said that it was the birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Guess what? Abraham Lincoln was not born on February 12th. The primary reason why they claim this is because Abraham Lincoln was a Moor. He was a Moor, an Islamic Moor. Okay? Yes, he was. Is what he really was. Okay? His birthday, you got to go 9 years earlier. Actually 11, they skipped 11 days. He would have been born on February 1st. What do they celebrate on February 1st? Candlemas, satanic worship. And then they have it's called Winter Candlemas, and then they do Candlemas, and February 2nd, they know that this is so-called Groundhog Day. I love when our brother said this is how they got you as the scarecrow. He said, "Does Punxsutawney's Phil see his shadow or not? 6 more weeks of winter." He said, "Come here, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Count. How many weeks is it from the end of winter to spring? 6 weeks. It's always 6 weeks of winter. Now, whether it snows or not, okay, it's still part of the joke. Okay? So all praises. We're gonna get a song going here. But I'm just telling you, what we're gonna be doing here, people. And if you're not ready, you better get ready, because now they have already been talking about we're preparing for the race war. We prepare. You see already, I've seen black people armed on the streets. We're getting right back to how it was in the time when the Black Panthers were going against the Klan and the militants and the police and all this stuff, right back to the 50s and the 60s. Why do you think that's happening? Okay? I already told people when this, let me pull up his picture again. When this knucklehead starts to lose and he thinks that he's going to be no longer in power, he creates all of this stuff that's going on. He tell the people, I need confusion, I need total chaos, I need this, let's get it going. This is Amon Ra, by the way. Okay? You think that this joker gonna beat the Most High, you fool yourself. This is the creation, not the creator. So you want to think that this knucklehead right here going to save you from the King Congo Tatanzambi, you be my guest. Because when Tatanzambi come true, he gonna jack this dude up. He gonna jack this dude up. It's gonna be a wipeout. It's gonna be, this is your Superman right here. I told you, he is not white, people. Okay? This is Superman right here. This is him. Okay? You think he gonna beat Tatanzambi? You are on drugs. For real. You are smoking the peyote. You are on what they call the ayahuasca. You in La La Land, like for real. The rabbit hole, the Sodom and Gomorrah, Alice in Wonderland is about sodomy. We're gonna find that out. Okay, the Sodomite kingdom. Okay, chasing the white rabbit brings you to the Sodomite kingdom. Why is it underground? Because those are your gods, all crazy and Looney Tunes, psychotic. Because why? They are the pit. This is the pit, the angel, the pit of Apollyon. Okay, all praises. Let me go ahead and get the song going. I'm gonna sing this song. And oh yeah, he got a lot of agents out here. This is the Black Panther. Somebody tried to tell me the Black Panther was created, but I was like, no, man. No. This is the one that won. He said, I'm supposed to be wearing the leopard skin. I'm going to keep wearing the leopard skin. And go, the leopard skin. Mommy, I'm supposed to be wearing the leopard skin, not in Setu, not a Bali. He the one got Kaina out there. Kaina, you supposed to be wearing the leopard skin. Oh man, you stupid. That's why Nimrod stole. That's why Kami stole it. La posa la posa ya unkoi. See, now you know the fish they call the koi. It means leopard. The koi fish. Now you see. And I actually, now that, oh man, I knew the guy that was named Coy in college, the quarterback. His name means leopard. Ty Detmer's brother. And there's another guy that, I met his father. He was the from Tech, the quarterback. And now no, it means leopard in Lingala. That makes sense. So, Umpusa Yankosi. Now, I know they're not gonna let it happen. Let me put it down there. See, they got it as elephant skin, but it's really, man, they always playing this game because it could be either one. They say what? Okay, but no, that's why I got on the shirt that says Ngo Akabito Kasimba, because it's the leopard and the lion. Okay, let me see if I can even get it to say. How do you say leopard in Swahili? They say Chewy. Now you see Chewbacca, Chewy. And go. Let me see if I can get this thing to trick it up. Here we go. I got him. Ngo is a Kikongo word meaning leopard. Boom! Got him. I got him. See, checked it up. Yeah, see, I put Ngo and then put leopard right after it. It says Ngo is a Kikongo word that means leopard. Man, if you all don't think that I'm trying to in the sea, let's see if I can get it to do it. No, I knew I couldn't get it to do it, but this means the leopard and the lion, Kasimba. All I got to do is take this back out. Received. Yeah, right. They like this is how you know they messing with me. Anyway, all right, Wakanda. Let me get the song going. Uh, we'll do it. We'll do it. One, we're gonna sing, and then we'll dance a song. Do 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 do. Tonda mfumu adi Zulu. Tonda tonda moyami. Vokangeye konganani. Lenden bidi la se tonda. Tonda 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 Yesu. Tonda nzambi moyami. Vokangeye konganani. Lenden bidi la se. Dam yo dio dia nyongo andi. Munang kulun su diandi. Kulun su is the cross. Dam yo dio dia lufwa landi. Now lufwa is about death. Mukuma kiamo yami. Tonda, tonda, tonda. Tonda means thank you. Now what they did is they took out the nasal and says toda, toda, toda is how they would say it, right? We said tonda labi, not toda raba. Tonda, 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 Yesu. Tonda nzambi moya mi. Vokangeye konganani. Lenden mbidi la se. Lutilanga mase meto. Yundulanga mwanandi. Nwani sanga mbeni zeto. Nanimpile zambito. Tonda, 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 Yesu. Tonda nzambi moya mi. Vokangeye kohanani. Yembidi. Then yembidi lwase. Bikambasi. Now, Mbasi is another word for angel, which is where they get the word embassy from. So embassies are called, what the word embassy means, messengers. But they're not messengers of truth, they're messengers of something else. Bikambasi za di Zulu. Bikampeve za kese. Bikabantu bandi vansi. Sani sin into no ami konda. Tonda, 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 Yesu. Tonda nzambi moya mi. Vokangeye kola nani. Lenden yimbidi la se. So now, when you do the Kikongo alphabet, and you can look this up too, the letter, the V, I'll be saying, F E Otika L A L A Uble is V Y C. How you go? I'll be say te U V W. So that's why I said in Spanish, the W is doble V, which is double V. In English, is double U. So that means they put a U and the U together. That's why we know his name was never Yahweh, because the W was not there. It was Yahweh. And but they sing that song, okay? They put the U's together and the Ve. And the Ve in our language, and in it means no, okay? So that's what happened with the land of Nada or Kihishi or Kisha. It's like, this is the land where you don't exist to the Father in truth. So as long as you worship the God of the no land, that's what never, never land means. So if you say never, never land, I'll flip it. Okay. See? Ata fioti ve. Ata fioti ve. No, it does not exist. Okay? So now that symbol, the ve that they put, and they even use it in the Greek and Roman, and that's why the Roman numeral 5. Oh, there's a secret behind that. The Roman numeral 5 is the false Messiah mark of the beast. That's how I'm telling you, people, that is the false Messiah. The Roman numeral 5 is Cain, Ve. And you're going to realize this very soon, that there's no way they could have given you the truth in the Roman construct of any scriptures. The Protestant church does not have the correct interpretation that was translated by Rome. And Rome is not telling the truth. People want to keep believing, and even with the Eastern Orthodox Church was forced to capitulate. That is why Tatanzambi broke us away from these people, that we did no longer, the Zealand Zombie Bank way, we were never supposed to capitulate to anything. Okay? And that's why the world doesn't get it. They have capitulated to Esau, and the Banabetu, they had to force it on those of us who didn't want to be in it. It's like, no, this is not true. When Rome came to Congo, then thought, like, we don't need this. We already got it. What are you talking about? That was all because of those who had started using witchcraft, Canaanite stuff. And the Most High got mad. That happened for 1,500 years of us messing around. And then, of course, they modified some years. All right? But anyway, all praises Zola Quingy Sambalolo. You get the song going to dance to. Again, I don't own the rights to this song. It's for the edification of the channel and for lifting up the people in the truth. And I apologize for the noise who thinks she thinks I'm done, but I'm not done yet. It's all right. Totamaya Mona Hamasia Bantwe. That's who gets the earth. And they know it. And sorry, my back is acting crazy today. It's very tight. It's tight. Totamaya Mona Hamasia Bantwe. Satana Mukamba. Here, hold on. Pharaoh, can you reach the wall? Turn a little bit. No te vayas, mono, no me sigas back there. Stop that now. There's no shirts we got on. There'll be some shirts like stuff on it too. I'm not. But you're not inheriting no kingdom, following no secret societies. No way. And they know it. That's why they're trying to run interference now. Nobody following secret society is going to inherit the kingdom. Not the Most High going to expose it all. So you want to know all these floods and hurricanes and sicknesses and everything that's going on is because you listen to these secret societies and they jacking you up. And they know it. They're playing both sides, the good and the bad. And they're not supposed to even they cannot be in the congregation teaching nobody. And they ran all the schools that you learn from. Every last one of them. Yeah. This is how the fallen angels thought that they could get the advantage to destroy us. By not being able to be solid, they are being destroyed because the secret society is aligned to everybody. That's really where the crybaby come from too, because the little punk, the little one, he want to have the leopard skin and he can't wear it. And they call you crybabies when you complain. Because we ain't really supposed to be complaining about nothing because we shouldn't have to. That image that I showed you of that God, he looks almost identical to the real Messiah from the Congo. That's why he can fool you as both black and melanated and non-melanated. Because he had more than face like Adama. But then of course they all hate their parent, the mother, they hate the second one, they hate the second woman, and they hate their father. And that's why you evolved from apes. A bunch of lies. See, the teacher of Yisu is the teacher of happiness, of laughter. That was what his grandfather's name was, Saka. Laugh. No, peace. But yet, all these countries, especially where they're singing at the DRC, they keep giving away all the riches to Cain, to Esau, all the time. Help it there. They keep passing the money. Okay, we're going back to we're going to take the wealth right back to the idiot. Watch what's going to happen. The Most High going to put a stop to it. Everything going to be brought to a halt. Watch. Yeah, keep negotiating with Cain. Big frauds. Boy, Cain about to get embarrassed. Keep negotiating with Amun-Ra, the stupid sun god, Cain, and liars. Watch what's going to happen. The Most High about to cut all of that. Boom! Shut it down. Wicked Corner going to come in there and shut it down. And they ain't going to be able to do nothing about it. And there ain't no military in this world going to be able to stop them with Wicked Congo when the Most High say, shut it down. They're going to bring it all. Wicked Congo going to shut it all down. Watch. Don't even believe these people that keep meeting on Samhain, that they're supposed to be the king of kings and one nation and all this other garbage. Nah, we don't do no Samhain, nothing. And we don't do no Christ Mass. That was all part of Nimrod's lie. We are Kwanzaa and Zombie. That's where the Kwanzaa really come from. And they're going to take, they're going to hijack that too, secret societies. The Kwanzaa ya Nzambi was in Fumo Yeswe, Manazambi, Fumo Yesu Christu. We have nothing to do with no Apollo liar. Tammuz deceiver. That's why we're losing all our power to the stupid. We keep resurrecting the idiot instead of giving our power to the true creator. Getting our power, using our power for the true creator. Be more powerful than that stupid idiot Thor. Way more. We need to quit listening to these people, man. Our power is far greater than no Nimrod or whatever you want to keep doing. It's all a lie. They know the Banabeta of Isolde are more powerful than the Anunnaki. Stop listening to these liars. And they fake math and their education and all this stuff. They lying to everybody. And yeah, America, North America, it ain't just America. North America is going down. Canada, all of it. And South America too. You're going to see. Can you do me a quick favor? The coconut milk.
Rice.
Okay.
I didn't put just rice and beans.
All right. All praises. Come, hallelujah. You know, and it's sad because we have all of these sorcerers out here. All they want to do is keep putting spells on people, telling you not to listen, telling you that they are something that they're not. Always want to take credit for things that they have nothing to do with. And we have to understand, if we are one family, stop arguing against each other and letting people come into our king, into our amongst us that keep creating confusion. Because that's the whole goal. They know if the Bana Betu or the Bana Betu are united, it is the end of Esau. What is going to happen anyway? Watch what's going to happen. The unification is already taking place in the spirit, and it will manifest in the flesh. And there's nothing they can do about it. Because very soon they're going to realize you are destroying those you should be helping, and you are helping those that you should be destroying. Okay? That you should be that you should be rejecting. Okay? And that's where everybody's going to see you are favoring the hypocrite, telling you he's Jacob when he's not, because they don't want to fulfill Revelation 3 and 9, and they're going to anyway. And they're refusing to give back what they stole, but they're going to give it back everywhere. More than every penny they took, they will give it back. All right. All praises. All right. Zola Quingi Sambololo, Inawezi Yave Kongo Kutwala. And I'm telling you, get ready for the next part because it's going to be massive. We just getting started, people. It's just getting started. Even when I heard this lady who claimed about this so-called boycott, look, let me tell you something. You want to put an end to Cain and Esau and all these other false gods, the whole world got to boycott. The whole world needs to boycott this system. It ain't just about America or wherever you're talking about. It's like, nah, anybody who's sick and tired of the liars, everybody got to be done with it. It's like you need to reject and have nothing to do and rebuke all of this stuff. It's like, nah, I'm talking about entertainment. I'm talking about, stores, everything. It's like, no, anything that feeds the beast system and they lying about it, you need to get rid of it. I'm talking about religion, education, everything, okay? Because the harsh reality is you stand up to these people, they will be forced to capitulate. There's nothing they can do. Okay? There's nothing they can do because then the Most High will be in the midst of it all. You got to understand, you're going to perish with the Egyptians, then stay there with the Egyptians because that's how he sees it. I see my kingdom and I see Egypt, and I don't see Egypt. He don't have nothing to do with those gods. Okay? So you want to sit there and think that you're going to kick it with Enlil and be like, yeah, I'm good, I'm everything good. No. You building your own prisons. You are bringing yourself to your own demise because when the Most High separate the sheep from the goats, you're going to be standing there talking to the jackass for eternity. And there's nothing you could do at that point. And that is what Toka was trying to explain when he came and said, y'all don't know what you're talking about. None of y'all do. Because the Most High is not a hypocrite. And the truth is the truth. But you got to get away from the lies. They've been lying to people for so long, and they're going to keep changing it. Oh, this prophet didn't exist. Oh, this and that. No, anytime these wicked Anunnaki demons keep losing, they're going to keep spinning the game. They lost already. Sit down somewhere. They already lost from the foundation of the earth, and Tatanzambi, King Kongo, the almighty God, powerful creator, who's way above this Canaanite baloney God, he's going to expose it all and embarrass these people. Because the dogs and pigs, you cannot get salvation from the Messiah of the dogs and the pigs. Telling you that he's the Messiah of the one who called them dogs and pigs. It's a lie. It's a hustle. It's a scam. You've been bamboozled, hoodwinked beyond belief. Okay, let these non-melanated people keep believing all they want to believe it because they're going right down with the rest of them. Because I'm telling you right now, every person on this earth is in danger because they are lying to you. Every last one of you, brown, black, Asian, Hispanic, I don't care what you call it, is in danger because what's going to happen is when the Most High show up, you're going to see I'm not talking about the one where they kept talking about the God, the voice of God in your head and all this other stuff and whatever brew beam or whatever they got prepared. I'm talking about the one that created that stupid woman who said no, and now she's telling everybody she's the Most High. Stupid Wonder Woman who don't know nothing from nothing, out here killing the lost sheep, got you believing all this garbage, that her son is the creator and the Most High because of that idiot that wouldn't bow down, that was prideful, and he wouldn't bow down to flesh, and he want everybody to bow down to him. That first angel who was wicked, who turned wicked, now you're going to see what we're talking about. All right? And then we all praise it. Zola Quingy Sambalolo, and Awezi Yabe Kongo Kutwala, Ingita.